Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the top 10 most addictive historical Korean dramas on Netflix. The ones that keep you saying, just one more episode until it's 4 a.m. From royal conspiracies to heartbreaking romances and world-class cinematography, these dramas are the kind that hook you from the very first scene. Let's get started. Arthdal Chronicles is an epic fantasy historical K-drama set in the mythical ancient land of Arth, where tribes, warriors, and evolving civilizations battle for power, survival, and destiny. The series follows the rise of nations long before Korea existed, blending myth, politics, prophecy, and warfare. At the center is Unsom, a brave outsider born with a mysterious heritage that makes him different from everyone else. He belongs to the oppressed Wahan tribe, whose peaceful life is shattered when the powerful Arthdal forces invade. Tortured by fate and driven by loyalty, Unsom embarks on a journey to protect his people and uncover the truth about who he really is. With huge battle scenes, intricate world building, and Hollywood-level visuals, Arthdal Chronicles feels like a Korean version of Game of Thrones, a sweeping saga of destiny, bloodlines, power, and the birth of a civilization. Rookie historian Hae-ryung is a light, refreshing, and surprisingly addictive historical drama set in the Joseon era. The story follows Hae-ryung, a smart, fearless woman who refuses to follow traditional expectations. She becomes one of the first female historians in the royal court, a bold move in a time when women weren't allowed to hold such positions. But beyond the romance, the drama dives into deeper themes: freedom, equality, and questioning outdated traditions. Hae-ryung's battle against discrimination and palace politics makes her one of the most memorable female leads in historical K-dramas. The show blends comedy, mystery, political intrigue, and sweet romance in the perfect balance, creating an easy, addictive watch that feels both modern and meaningful. Alchemy of Souls is an epic fantasy historical drama set in the mystical land of Daeho, where powerful mages control the flow of energy, and where forbidden magic can change fate itself. The story follows Naksu, a legendary assassin whose soul becomes trapped inside the body of a blind girl named Mudok. Powerless and hiding her true identity, she becomes the servant and secret master of Jang-uk, a young nobleman with great potential but a sealed magical destiny. What makes this drama addictive is the world-building, magical clans, ancient lore, soul-shifting, monster creation, all combined with stunning visuals and emotional twists. Every character has depth, every episode ends with a hook, and the chemistry between the leads is unforgettable. With its mix of fantasy, action, heartbreak, and breathtaking romance, Alchemy of Souls is one of the most captivating multi-season Korean dramas of recent years. Queen Seondeok is one of the most iconic and addictive historical Korean dramas ever made. Set in the ancient Shilla kingdom, it tells the extraordinary journey of Deokman, a princess born into danger and forced into hiding because of palace prophecies and deadly political rivalries. Her greatest adversary is Lady Michil, one of the most legendary antagonists in K-drama history. Brilliant, ruthless, and politically unmatched, Michil's schemes define the show's intense, high-stakes storytelling. The clash between Deokman and Michil becomes a masterclass in strategy, manipulation, and psychological warfare. The drama follows Deokman as she rises from an exiled girl to a fearless leader, eventually claiming her rightful place as the first reigning queen of Shilla. Along the way, alliances form and break, warriors stand by her side, and heartbreaking sacrifices shape her destiny. Song of the Bandits is an action-packed historical thriller set in 1920s Japanese-occupied Manchuria, where lawlessness rules and survival depends on how fast you can draw your gun. The story follows a group of Korean outlaws, former soldiers, and freedom fighters who band together in the unforgiving Gando region to protect Korean civilians escaping oppression. At the center is Lee Yoon, a former soldier turned renegade who becomes the unlikely protector of the powerless. Alongside him is Nam Hee-shin, a mysterious woman with ties to both resistance forces and the colonial government. As alliances form and betrayals unfold, the group faces ruthless Japanese forces and dangerous rival gangs in a brutal, desert-style battleground. With cinematic gunfights, tense standoffs, and a gritty Western vibe, Song of the Bandits blends revenge, patriotism, and survival into a fast-paced, visually stunning drama about fighting for freedom when the world turns lawless. The Moon Embracing the Sun is a legendary, historical romance that blends royal politics, destiny, and a touch of the supernatural into one unforgettable story. The drama follows Hae-ryung, a bright and kind noblewoman chosen to become the crown princess. But palace conspiracies strike early. Jealous rivals plot her downfall, leading to her mysterious death. In reality, she survives but loses her memory, living years later as a shaman with no recollection of her past. As their paths intertwine again, buried secrets resurface. Political corruption, dark magic, and old betrayals that shaped the kingdom. The king must fight not just for his throne, but for the woman he loves, and for the justice stolen from them both. What makes this drama so addictive is its mix of emotional intensity, beautiful cinematography, and a love story that feels both epic and tragic. It's a timeless classic filled with palace intrigue, heartache, and the power of destiny. The Red Sleeve is a beautifully crafted historical romance based on the real-life love story between King Jongjo and Seondeok, a palace court lady. Set in the late Joseon era, the drama explores love, duty, and sacrifice inside the suffocating walls of the royal court. The story centers on Deok, a smart, independent, and spirited court lady who dreams of living a life of her own choosing. She refuses to be just another woman in the palace, determined to protect her freedom no matter the cost. Her life becomes entangled with Yi-san, the strict yet deeply wounded crown prince destined to become King Jongjo. The drama is built on emotional tension, political danger, and heartbreaking realism. It shows how love in the palace is both a blessing and a curse, filled with devotion but also sacrifice. A masterpiece of restrained storytelling, The Red Sleeve proves that sometimes the most powerful love stories are the most painful ones. The King's Affection is a gripping historical romance built on one of the most dramatic twists in K-drama history. The story begins with the birth of royal twins, a boy and a girl, a taboo in the Joseon palace. To avoid political chaos, the infant girl is ordered to be killed, but she survives in secret. As political enemies close in, we must choose between survival, duty, and her own happiness, all while fighting to protect the kingdom from corruption and betrayal. With stunning visuals, emotional storytelling, and one of the most compelling lead performances in recent sageuk history, The King's Affection stands out as a deeply addictive and beautifully crafted drama. Mr. Sunshine is one of the most visually stunning and emotionally powerful historical Korean dramas ever created. Set in the late 1800s to early 1900s, a turbulent time when Korea stands on the edge of colonization, the story follows Eugene Choi, a boy born into slavery who escapes to the United States and later returns to Joseon as a U.S. Marine officer. The drama's emotional weight comes from its historical realism, personal love stories unfolding while a country faces invasion, corruption, and political collapse. Every episode feels like a movie, with sweeping cinematography, breathtaking action, and dialogue that hits hard. At its core, Mr. Sunshine is about love, sacrifice, patriotism, and the people who fought, quietly or boldly, to save their homeland. It's beautiful, heartbreaking, and deeply unforgettable. Kingdom is one of Netflix's most addictive and groundbreaking Korean historical dramas, a perfect fusion of political thriller, mystery, and zombie horror. With stunning cinematography, masterful pacing, and a storyline packed with corruption, survival, and sacrifice, Kingdom stands as one of the most intense and addictive K-dramas ever made. A true genre-defining masterpiece.